As the commercial nerve of the country, the pace of life in this congested city is fast, making it vulnerable to a high incidence of disasters. Coupled with the growing population, large urban concentration, vast urban development, and the peculiarity of its geographical location and climate, Lagos experiences more emergency cases than anywhere else in the country. And as this megacity continues to grow, it continues to present more challenges.
Lagos is a metropolitan city that has experienced a high density population over time. And as a result of that, there has been a lot of haphazard development at the initial stage of the growth of the city.
The most common disasters in this bustling city are collapsed buildings, road accidents, violent crimes and riots as a result of social unrest. But the emergency services remain ineffective in responding to these disasters, and many a time, Lagosians would watch helplessly as lives and property were destroyed after trying to salvage what they could with their limited resources. In a bid to curb the frequency of these disasters in Lagos State, the past administration formed the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, or LASEMA. Its role was to coordinate activities of the relevant stakeholders in disaster management, such as transport and security, in terms of responding promptly and timely and sustaining the intervention at any emergency site.
Here in Lagos, we have a time frame of mobilizing all the concerned agencies to site to be able to ensure that we save lives, because the focus is to ensure that we don't lose any life if we can prevent it.
We've gone into an integrated system of addressing emergency issues. We introduced the 767, the SOS number, and we undertook extensive training involving the various agencies that are involved in emergency.
With the coordination of these various agencies, emergency services were better placed to respond to disasters. But the major problem was the lack of facilities, equipment and resources to enable things to work smoothly. However, when the administration of Governor Fashola assumed office, he paired up with the private sector to work towards equipping and funding these agencies with the necessary tools to work effectively, and gradually, the number of disasters has begun to decrease.
It has reduced drastically. In fact, I will say within the range of about 10–15% now, that we are now still working on to make sure that we get those 15% off completely, because our focus is zero tolerance, and we don't want any disaster if we can prevent it.
A major contribution to the improvements in disaster management, besides equipping them with the necessary tools, is the training of staff. In agencies like the Lagos State Ambulance Services, employees in emergency medical services are now receiving training from foreign medical organizations.
We do realize that, this was something new. We needed to train a lot of our staff, and this training is supposed to be continuous. So we've started gradually, using a consulting group who will train them.
The state has also begun to increase the awareness and education of disaster management at the local government level to help control the frequency of disasters and mitigate the outcome.
We're training people at the local government levels, involving other agencies of government that are not necessarily health. So we're training people from different local government areas, the primary health care centers, training people from the LASMA, the traffic management authorities, the KAI brigade. The idea is that you train as many people as possible on basic life support, because they might be the people closest to the point of care even before the ambulances get, so they can provide the basic life support to those who need them.
Also enforcing building codes and informing the public of the political, economic and social factors that generate vulnerabilities to hazards has facilitated the changes. The increased funding of agencies like the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, which is responsible for coordinating and enforcing traffic control operations, has also contributed to the drop in the number of road accidents. LASMA also plays a major role in speeding up the access of emergency response services to disaster sites.
As soon as you dial the 767 number, or you call any of our hotlines, or you call any of our agencies, immediately they call LASMA. They call the LASMA hotline. When you call the LASMA hotline, as LASMA moves, we go on a two-way radio system, which is one of the best in the country. And once we go on the two-way radio system, we call the immediate beat that is close to the points to mobilize. And as they are mobilizing, we also go back. If it's emergency that requires a fire service, we call the fire service also.
In significant sectors like security, the creation of the Security Trust Fund went a long way in providing the necessary vehicles, armor, and also increasing the salaries of police officers in order to ensure a reliable police force. The creation of the 767 emergency dial number and the establishment of traffic cameras around the city and plans for a command and control center are also results of this fund that will contribute to managing emergencies.
As much as possible, we want proactive actions so that these ugly incidents do not happen. And that's why it has tasked all our security agencies. We must go and review, rehearse, and upgrade what we call SOPs, standing operational procedures. We should go and rehearse for them. We should review our KPs, VPs, key points, vulnerable points. We should prioritize them, put them in priorities. Those to be physically occupied, at instant notice.
Like anywhere else in the world, the quick and effective response to emergencies in Lagos State is far from perfect. But slowly and surely, the government seems to be gaining control of disaster management, especially now that they have the resources and teamwork between stakeholders.